Real Country 550 and 92.9 WAME and W225BD Statesville.
Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm.
If you don't know our host, David Hamm, he's a 25-year NASCAR veteran, engine builder, and jackman.
Live every Monday evening, we have a new guest
From the racing world with their stories, their paths,
Their
racing roots.
sponsored by Jersey Cape Yachts.
Now here's our host, David Hamm.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm right here on 550 AM, 92.9 FM, and DHammiam on YouTube. So if you're out there driving along, don't go on YouTube yet, but when you get home in a safe spot, then you go on there and watch us here live in the Randy Marion studio, because we got a big show. We got a big family in here as well. We got Mr. Jerry Cook. Is it okay if I call you Mr. Sir?
That'd be just fine, yes.
Well, it's great to have you on the show with me. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, a couple months now that we talked about it. And I met you down at the Stocks for Tots in Mooresville. Big event, as always. And then I thought, you know what, we need to have him on the show. Because, you know, I met Christy's mom, and I thought it was Christy at first. Just, you know, and just like when I saw Christy, I thought, anyway, I'm putting the shovel down. So I see where she gets her
Cuteness.
well, both of you look good. See,
Cuteness.
the shovel's down.
You're one. You're
There's
good.
Her
three
cuteness,
of them
yes.
now, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I say that because when I saw pictures of you back in the day, you still look handsome, but I'm saying you had the best looking sideburns. And were you like ever in any of the best looking man contests or anything? I'm not hitting
No,
on you, I promise.
I was too busy racing.
Oh, well, yeah. It's like, it looked like you get out of the car and everything looks perfect still.
Still does.
It does. Yes. I like that. I like that look too. You got some of the coolest pictures I've ever seen in my life. Racing pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
There's hundreds of them,
Yes.
thousands of them.
Thousands of them, yes. Well, if you're a 6-time NASCAR Modified champion and a NASCAR Hall of Famer, I'm sure you got a few pictures, you know.
Some people put them in albums, but we were too busy racing. They were in boxes.
Oh,
And now every once in a while we'll sit down and try and sort some of them out, but
sure.
that hasn't happened very often.
Well,
So
somebody needs to sort through them and maybe put them on a website. Yes, they're working on it.
Granddaughter.
I think they're working.
Granddaughter.
Okay, so we got Christy Cook Jones in with us, and what is your daughter's name again?
God,
Lauren.
introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Lauren.
Lauren. Okay, Lauren Jones, and then we got Jerry Cook, and we got Susan, and then what?
I'm David Cook.
David Cook.
I'd be Christy's brother.
Oh, okay. I didn't get to meet you. I was over here setting up, and then I thought I might have had a technical difficulty, but I guess it was okay. So we have this thing I used called OBS Studio, this open broadcasting system that works, and it wasn't showing me a preview. And then I got to thinking, wait a minute, I have had this happen one time before. I'm just going to roll with it, and sure enough, it's just fine. The picture
What is
looks
it?
great.
Yeah, YouTube's not broadcasting though.
Is it not?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it says it's fine. So
It's
I don't
not
know
fine.
what your...
Y'all let us know if you can actually see us on YouTube.
I mean, I see it right here.
You see it, but I don't. So
Okay.
it might be my phone.
Yeah, it might be. Anyway, so we've got Mr. Jerry Cook. We're going to learn all about you. We're going to learn from the time you were born till now. Well, maybe not that far back, because I'm sure you don't remember that.
that was a
And-
long time ago.
Yes. And I'm assuming your parents have passed on.
Yes.
Okay. And where did you live? Where were you
Still
born?
waiting.
I was born in Lockport, New York, which is 25 miles from Buffalo and 25 miles from Niagara Falls.
25 from Buffalo, 25 from Niagara Falls. Okay.
Still waiting.
Okay. So you had like the best of both worlds up there, I guess, in a way. Okay. Is it not playing?
No.
It's not playing on
Just
YouTube.
waiting for DHammiam.
Okay. Or
Here
waiting
I am.
on start the live stream. Well, it's supposed to be started. It says it started. So I don't know. Why is the...
Dickie Dennis says no, it's not streaming.
Okay. Well, you know what we might have to do is just take a break and start a little bit later and try to figure out what's going on with that. And and as my phone rings too, because I'm going to have my eye surgery here in a couple of days, or my eye procedure. And it's they're calling me now to tell me the details. So Too much going on. It's like on Mondays. It seems like it happens every time. Everything just happens at once, So, all right. Well, in that case, we're not streaming on YouTube, which is puzzling. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and take a break and play a song, and we'll just come right back. And so y'all stay tuned for Racing Roots with Hamm. We will be right back. I promise.
Scout bags represent the best of both worlds, function and fashion. You can find a huge selection of Scout bags and more at Johnson's Greenhouses. Scout considers themselves the bag experts and design with you and your family in mind. They're committed to making your life easier one bag at a time. Need bags for the entire family? Done. You name it, they help you carry it. Stop by and check out all the great Scout bags at Johnson's Greenhouses. Mention you heard this ad on WAME and take 25% off any one bag. Johnson Greenhouses, 204 Salisbury Road in Statesville, or give them a call at 704-873-4345.
All right, now we're live once again. Racing Roots with Hamm. That was my new intro song. Did y'all like that? Garth Brooks. I called him up earlier today. Said, "Hey, do you mind doing an intro song for me?" And but we're back. We made it. Actually, we're not. We're back to y'all or to ourselves. Wow, man! I tell you what. I was just telling Christy, it looks like I pulled my hair out. It's stuck to my forehead from sweating. But I got it rolling. It's working.
Dickie says there's no audio.
No audio. Oh, duh. Okay, so what? No, there should be now. Okay, it's a little bit of a delay. I didn't have the audio on, and so we're good. Okay, we're back. We got Jerry Cook in with us this evening, and thanks for coming in. And glad to see you. And so sorry we had that little bit of
you in real good.
Yeah, but we had 20 extra minutes to hang out and have a good time with y'all. So hope you don't mind staying over a little bit longer.
We're good.
No, we're all good.
Okay. Well, good deal. So where we ended up was I said you were the 6-time NASCAR Modified champion, and you're also NASCAR Hall of Famer, which is kind of a big deal. You know, I have this little placard that I usually have sitting here that says kind of a big deal, but I didn't even bother bringing it tonight because that would just be, you're the big deal.
Overkill.
From where we started out and where we wound up, that's a big deal. So.
Yeah. Well, good. So, did you have? You grew up in New York, and we're going to where you started out thing.
All right.
Yes. You were 25 miles from Buffalo.
And 25 from Niagara Falls in the town of Lockport, New York.
Okay.
And that was just outside of town where we lived, and there was at that time it was a service station down the road from where I lived. Mm-hmm. And I started hanging out there when I was probably 8 years old. And one of the brothers, the Ghilardi brothers, ran the service station. And one of the brothers' name was Cam Ghilardi, and he's the one that got me started in racing.
Okay. Cam Ghilardi.
Yes.
Got you started in racing.
And the first car I had when I was 13, and it was a 37 Chevy Coupe with a 6-cylinder in it. And, of course, had a lot of help putting all that together because I sure didn't learn it all in a day. You know?
Right.
But we ran that at Ransomville Speedway. And at that time, the Ransomville Speedway was behind Eddie Ortez's garage in the town of Ransomville. Mm-hmm. Now they built a new track that's been there now for a long time outside of town, and that's a pretty big place. So.
Okay. Well, we need to take a family trip up there because I think I heard you were saying that I was your son, David, right? But then I met the real David, I guess. I said, yeah, I am your son. So you've got David Cook here as well.
Yep.
And then we also have Christy Cook Jones. Mm-hmm. And Christy's daughter. You're introducing yourself.
Oh, I'm Lauren.
Lauren, okay. Yeah. See, I could hear you better that time.
Oh, okay.
You got experience from that little thing we did earlier. So, and we also have Susan.
Yep. We also have Nicole.
And Nicole's joined us now. I need to get Nicole on camera. I got one over here. I'll move and I'll put you on there. I'll zoom in.
That's okay.
All right. So is Nicole
is David's wife.
Okay. I was going to ask.
She has a racing family too.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Her dad and her brother, they race. Mm-hmm. Her dad raced. Her brother still races.
Oh, yes.
We're all in the racing.
One big racing family.
Well, I started out way young, and I didn't care about football, baseball, or anything else, just racing. Mm-hmm. And this one thing led to another, and we started out racing Ransomville and Merrittville and places like that were close to Lockport. And my dad used to go. My dad helped me a lot. He liked racing. Mm-hmm. In fact, he helped me a lot more than my mother ever knew. So.
Oh, okay.
But then we started to travel, and he wasn't into all the traveling.
Yeah.
And then we started moving out and went to Spencer Speedway and Rochester Speedway in Monroe County, New York. Then we moved farther and went to Utica-Rome Speedway, which was near the other side of Syracuse, really. Okay. And when I was racing Utica-Rome Speedway is where I met Sue.
Oh, that was your best decision ever, wasn't it?
Probably, yes,
Go
it
race
was.
there.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And we met there, and I raced there, and then we got married and decided that's where we were going to live because it was that much closer to where the racetracks were that I was racing at.
Okay. Now, was she in a racing family too, Susan?
No.
I just liked it.
Okay. So you went with him a lot of time, I guess. Mm-hmm. All right. Because I've heard, people, they go start racing and stuff, and all of a sudden they have a girlfriend, and they're like, well, I don't think I'm going to race anymore. No. She said, you're coming with me.
No, I met her at the racetrack, so she liked the racing, and that was 55 years or so ago.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's a great point. So if you're out there racing and you want a woman you're gonna stay together and you want to keep racing, meet her at the racetrack.
Right.
Well,
that's
that's
what
a
I
good
hear.
start.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's a good start.
because the ones that decided they were going to get married, then they were going to change the guy, that never works out too good.
Oh, yeah, of course. Let's see, one driver to another. And I'm going to go back to, I was telling you I was going to try to remember everything I was saying before. So I remember one thing I was saying, and I'm going to say it this time without sounding like I'm hitting on you. But you were a good-looking man. You still are. But back then, that sounds like I'm hitting on him again. But you had the
best sideburns.
The best. Yeah, thank
Still
you, Chris.
does.
Yeah, thank you.
Good looking sideburns.
Let me see those again. I didn't get to see them earlier.
They were a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, they were down to
They were
here.
down to here.
Down the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't even zoom in.
So, yeah. Oh, actually, I have our camera set up over here. Let me get this one on you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. That's good. Yeah. All right. So if you are listening on the radio, you're 92.9 FM, 550 AM, and you want to see us here live in the studio, go to DHammiam on YouTube. You can also check out our Facebook page, Racing Roots with Hamm, and you'll see the link there. And you can see us here live in the studio. And you can see Jerry Cook's, what do you call them? Chops or sideburns?
I call them sideburns.
They were down to here.
Okay.
But I had a
Back
crew
in the
cut
day.
too.
Okay. Well,
the guys that I raced with,
Yeah.
they kept trying to shame me into letting my hair grow. And it finally come down to a deal where when I won the first championship, whenever I won the first championship, I had to let my hair grow.
oh, okay. One of those deals.
Yep, and that's
All right.
where then it's been that way, and then now it's gotten a lot thinner. So
Well, now was it ever this long as Mr. Bryson over here?
no,
Affirmative.
What do you think? What's your take on his haircut? His hair.
I love it.
It's cool, ain't it? He's
cool.
He's brought it back, the mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tried to, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, but you know what else we figured out? We went down. He went to the Sterling Marlin reunion with Friday. We were down there, and somebody mentioned something. It's been on the tip of my tongue. It's been hanging in there. But John Stamos,
I don't understand that.
you don't understand.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
but,
Full House.
From Full House.
Yes.
but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not
Good
saying
hair.
that's a bad thing, but I'm saying like I would have never, like if
Yeah,
you
Uncle
gave me a
Jason.
list of people, I would have never, But it's cool. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Nothing wrong with that, but yeah.
All right.
Gaining new names as we go, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Very good. And we also have our local artist, Amy Queen Chapin, is in with us, and she's doing a painting this evening. So you can check out her work, Amy Queen Chapin, CHAPPIN art.com, for her Facebook and Instagram links and all that good stuff. So,
it's all good.
all right, back to your Jerry Cook's hair and sideburns. Yes. Pork chops was the other word for him, right?
Yeah.
I tried to grow
I
those
never
one
used
year.
that word.
The pork chops. You know what? When I was working at Roush Yates with Christy over here, I don't know why I had to point because y'all know where she's at.
Right here.
Yeah. When I worked at Roush Yates
He's just
with her,
clarifying for the audience.
I grew out a little bit of pork chops. Mine doesn't. Mine kind of grows in a little like Joe Dirt kind of
It's
deal.
just spotty.
Splotchy,
Yeah,
right?
very spotty.
But I think I did pretty good with the pork chops. I had to comb over pork chops, and I was doing it for a play. But every time I saw like Doug Yates would see me or somebody, it was
I hate
almost
it.
like, "Are you gonna get a haircut one of these days?" You know. So yeah,
With a smile.
That's
yeah,
that's like Blaney, and he drives for Penske.
yeah.
In,
Oh, and Penske's like,
in the wintertime, though, he let it all grow.
Yes.
Now I noticed he's all cleaned up and ready to go. So
yeah, no shave November kind of thing, right? Now he's got a bunch of different kind of looks, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, the throwback times are good too, because I know I kind of had a mullet back in the day, somewhat. But anyway, the show is about Jerry Cook, and you're a NASCAR Hall of Famer. So when you were racing up in New York, and then you started branching out, it sounds like, to the other states eventually.
We started from there. We went Utica-Rome, Fonda, Albany, Saratoga, and then the more we went, the longer it went on. Then we went to Connecticut, to Stafford and Thompson, Riverside Park and Mass, and in fact, we've raced in every state from Maine to Florida.
Wow.
More east. We never raced west anywhere that I remember anyway.
Okay.
But we ran in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, North Carolina, Florida.
Yeah.
All over.
Did John Lee? Brawley? Mr. Brawley? Is he still here?
No, he left just a moment ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
He said he wouldn't be able to stay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going
Does
on.
he?
too,
Okay.
so.
All right. I was going to mention some of the things that he brought up.
Yeah.
He can
while
still
he's here,
listen.
but yeah.
He can still listen.
We'll give him time to get in his car, and he'll start listening again. But don't let him forget, okay?
Okay, I won't let you forget.
Maybe we should go ahead right quick, since we missed the break. We're not going to take a break. We're just going to roll right through because I played those already.
Okay.
And mention some of our listeners on YouTube
Do you want me to do that?
that hung in there till we got back. Yeah.
All right, so we've got Dickie Dennis tuned in. We've got Brett Troutman, Mr. Will Cratchity himself.
Will Cronkite.
Yes, sir. Dargan Watts. And let's see, Philip Riot. Sherry Kingwater.
I don't know.
And Anthony Taylor. Mike Bear. And Suzette McGuire.
All right. Suzette's all the way out in California, tuned in to us here. And then some of our friends down in Florida, our friends in Ohio and other places. Did you recognize any of the names?
Will Cronkite.
Yes, Will Cronkite.
We actually saw him this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I talked to him earlier. He gave me a call, and he was one of the calls I got from him. And Mr. Bill Blair called me, and they both were looking forward to watching the show and listening. And they both said you're a fine gentleman. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. And I was like, wow.
Try to be, you know.
Yeah. That's it.
We were busy all the time. I mean, it was 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, all the time.
Yeah, right.
And when the kids were born, they loaded them. We loaded them. They took them. They went to all the races too. So,
So I guess that's what sparked Christy's interest in getting into NASCAR, because she's been in it a while. She's worked with Robert Yates.
23 years.
23 years. Have you only been, I mean, I say only, meaning you.
No. I mean, I haven't been there.
I mean,
I'm only 51.
Oh.
yeah, but she did Miss Goodies and a few others too.
Well, we're going to learn a lot about Christy this evening too.
Coming out of the woodwork.
Yes.
Miss Goody's Headache, not the title that we wanted to discuss here tonight.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
But David's worked for a number of Cup teams through the years. The most recent one is Stuart Haas.
Okay.
And then name them, I don't even.
27 years on the Cup, Ferris Cup teams.
Yeah.
Still going.
Well, so when did you work over at Stuart Haas?
Up until 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I left there to put more time into my machine shop.
Okay,
at
good.
My house, and I still do some part-time consulting on another Cup team.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Go back 27 years, the MB2 Motorsports. I worked at Penske for a little bit.
Okay.
Red Bull Racing and JTG.
All right. So, you've been around for a while. You must have I started in 95 when I started
about when I started.
In the Cup Series, and then moved around from Sabco and Bill Davis Racing. And so here I am. I decided that I was going to leave working at Roush Yates Engines. I mean, we won the championship in 2018, and we won it in 2004. So it was about time. It wasn't, I say it's about time. It was just.
It was time.
Yeah, I felt like it was just the time for me. The timing was good. So I did.
That's good.
Yeah. So there is life outside of NASCAR. Is my
Timing was good for me too.
That's my point. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we raced all them years. We'd run as many as 96 races a year.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's the most, but for quite a number of years, it was between 90 and 96. And that didn't count rainouts either.
Oh, okay.
Because we'd run Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then do it all again the next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the couple days we had, took the car apart, put it back together, and that's how you made sure you finished. Because before you can ever win, you must first finish.
Oh, yeah. Finish first, you must finish. Something like that, yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
Goes in that order, too.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that surprised me when I got into racing was noticing how they would take everything apart. And I'm like, why? It's already together. Why are you going to take it apart? But, you had to Magnaflux everything, strip the paint off, Magnaflux, steering arms and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, we knew the stuff that was weak, so that's the stuff you had to
That's right.
keep after, the engine, tune-ups, rear ends, transmissions.
Yeah, for sure. Hey there. Oh, okay. Drop call. Hey there. Who we got on the line with us?
This is Debbie Cook calling.
Debbie Cook. All right, you must be one of them cook girls.
My cousin.
I am one of those cook girls. I'm Jerry's niece.
Oh, how about that?
That's my brother's daughter.
Brother's daughter. Now, how is Jerry really? I mean, you can tell us the truth. You can talk to us.
Come on, Debbie.
This is
Speak
private.
up.
He's my godfather.
Oh, so he's great, huh?
And they live in Lockport, New York.
Okay.
Yep.
They never left.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I almost couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, do you ever come visit South?
I should actually. I haven't in a very long time.
All right. Well, we'll be looking for you. You come up here and hang out with us on the show next Monday. Maybe Jerry will come back then. Okay.
That's a little too soon, but
Yes.
maybe in the future.
All right. You got any good Jerry Cook stories?
I just told you he's my godfather. He's awesome. So
that's awesome.
And my beautiful Aunt Sue and my favorite cousins. Yeah, I got a good family.
Which one's your favorite?
Yeah.
Careful, we just talked to you the other night.
That was
I got to be
Christy.
careful if David's there.
I won't tell.
Yeah.
You won't tell? Okay, yeah. So I do have a crazy question, though, for my uncle.
Go for it. We are all ears.
I want to know who. I never heard the story or who his influence to get into racing was.
Oh, that was easy. That was Cam Gallardi, who owned the service station just down the road.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was exactly him or if there was somebody else that got that interest going for you.
No, that was exactly him right there.
Ah, okay.
That's what you
All
actually
right.
you mentioned that earlier, but I think that was whenever we were having the technical difficulties.
Wow.
So
Yeah, because we raced dirt, asphalt, didn't matter. One
Yeah,
night
you did it
ran-
all. I know
one
that.
night you ran slicks, and one night you ran groove slicks. It didn't matter,
Yeah. Well, you are an amazing guy, and I'm so lucky to have you as not only an uncle, but as a godfather. So I have a really good family.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And actually, Uncle Jerry, to be honest with you, your name is brought up quite often. I am known as Jerry Cook's niece up here.
Okay, that's all right, too.
Yep, everybody knows. That's how I'm known. I'm known through you.
Well, one time I came up there to race at Ransomville Speedway, and just because that was part of the New York State Genesee Driver of the Year thing, and the promoter then, I don't know if you know Stuart Friesen, who now races trucks and dirt and everything else. Well, it was his grandfather that ran the track at that time. And I just showed up there. And he says, why didn't you call and tell me you were coming? I could have advertised it. I said, if I was going to make a fool out of myself, I didn't want anybody to know I was there. And I won the darn thing.
There you go.
Of course,
There
I
you
got pushed over the end a couple times and went to the rear and got so mad that I just came storming back up through. So
how about that? Wow, that's a cool story.
Well, and not only that, but he's famous too. He's in the Hall of Fame now.
That's right. He is a
Oh,
NASCAR Hall of Famer.
Quite a few
Yep.
Hall of Fames, but that's number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
the next one is the International Motorsports Hall of Fame, and that's in Talladega, Alabama. And that has
Oh.
drivers from all over the world in there.
All right.
And
Yeah.
that's pretty neat when you see your plaque on the wall and
Sure.
the people that are next to it, you know.
Yeah. So how do you get into that? We're gonna have to work on that one. Just yeah.
Well, you got to
Voted
get
in?
somebody
Nominated.
to nominate you, and then you got to get voted in there. So.
Okay. All right. So that's where all those pictures we were talking about earlier come in, and a website, all that good stuff. We're gonna get this stuff rolling. Thanks for that idea, Debbie. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes.
Well, I love you, Uncle Jerry. I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you. Me too.
So, all right. And I love the rest of you, too.
Oh, love you too. Thank you so much for calling in, and we'll see you next Monday.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We'll talk soon. All right.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Very good. I think this one's probably the
What
hung.
you were expecting.
Yeah, the hunged up one. I don't know nobody's there. Somebody did try to call my cell phone. Oh, that was early. Sorry. Squirrel ran by. See that
Squirrel thinks they're
ding
dinging.
thing? Yeah.
Not me.
Oh, it's
I'm on
so,
silent.
All right. So do you remember Debbie there that just called?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
sure.
it sounds like it's been a while since she come and visited you, but you probably been up there since then, though, right?
I haven't even been up there that much.
Okay. Well.
It's too cold.
Oh, hey, I get
Yeah.
you. I would.
It snowed today.
It snowed
Yeah,
today.
it snows up there, too.
Oh yeah, forget that.
And we got married. We said we ain't living here forever. We didn't know where we were going, when we were going, or how we were going, but we weren't staying up there forever.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Unanimous.
and Bill France took care of that. So,
Very good. Now, you say that, so you started racing in towards south, and so you come down here with the guys in NASCAR, which I know they raced a lot of other places too, but it was primarily the south.
well, most of my racing was done up north, even though we did come down south and raced Virginia, North Carolina, different races. But all the racing we did was out of Rome, New York at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We just traveled down here, and at the end of '82, NASCAR was starting to grow and get bigger and bigger. And of course, I knew Bill France and Jimmy and all of them. And Bill wanted me to go to work for them because things are getting busy. And he knew that I knew what I knew, you know.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much, if you don't take it, who could I get to do it?
Right. Yeah.
I said there was my chance to quit when I was on top. So that's when I quit racing in '82 and went to work for NASCAR the same day. So
Yeah. And what was your first position in NASCAR?
let's see, what was it?
Northeast
coordinator.
coordinator.
Yeah,
Coordinator.
Northeast Technical Coordinator, I think it was, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So I looked after all that, and that was in '82. And then in '85, when I was working for NASCAR, the Whelen Modified Tour of today, which started out as the Winston Modified Tour, I started that tour because you could tell that the weekly races were getting too expensive, and the cars were still there. And I talked to Bill and Jim Hunter and Les and everybody that was there. I says, while there's still cars, I'd like to start a tour. And they let me start it and run it.
Very good.
And that was in 1985, and it's still going today.
Yeah. How about that? See, they got the right person doing it. That's it. Hey, go ahead, caller. Who do we have on the line with us?
It's Bill Blair.
Hey, Mr. Bill.
How you doing there?
I'm good.
Well, great. You're one of my heroes, you know.
Well, thank you.
I go back, my first modified race was 1940, believe it or not. I was 3 years old. And I've seen them all, from Red Byron to Curtis Turner, Joe Weatherly, Ed Samples. And, you know, I can tell when a man knows what he's doing as far as being a wheelman and a driver. I've seen enough of them all my time in racing. And Jerry Cook's always impressed me. I remember him coming down to Caraway up at Martinsville, winning up there, running with the boys down here at Caraway. he'd pass them wherever he come to them, going down straightaway, going in the corner, in the middle of the corner, coming off the corner, just wherever he come up on them. He did not follow them a lap or two, setting them up. He just come up on past them like he'd run 10 miles an hour faster. A real wheel man.
Well, you just had to go where they weren't,
Well, there's only one guy that was in your league, and that would have been Ray Hendricks, Y'all were, Richie Evans, of course, but you always impressed me. Such a nice person, and your contribution to stock car racing. Champion, worked for NASCAR, Hall of Fame, an ambassador. Never a negative viewpoint or word from you, just always positive. And there's a lot of people, including myself, really do admire Jerry Cook.
Yeah, you mentioned Curtis Turner. I raced with him one night at Pulaski, Virginia, on the dirt.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, you probably outrun him.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
We
Well, he
were
was a
all
wheel
there.
man, yeah.
You were too busy moving to the front, right?
Well, I was trying
Yes.
to, and I realized, because I'd never been there, that I had the wrong deal when I went there. So, but I did. I think I finished in the top 5. So.
Oh, pretty cool.
Well, good to see you. I saw you at the Mount Airy Moonshine Racers Reunion last year, and hope you can come again this year, September the 10th.
September 10th? Yeah, I think
September
we'll be
10th.
back.
Well, the people enjoyed talking to you and getting autographs from you, and they still talk about Jerry Cook. You was a big hit at Mount Airy, so thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
And David, thank you for having him.
Oh, yeah.
Great guest.
Absolutely, Mr. Blair. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all very kindly.
Always great to talk to you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'll tell you what, Mr. Bill Blair, they don't get much better than him.
Now, he called me a few times to come up to that show.
Yeah.
And last year we went up. Me and David went up, in fact. So.
No, it's a good show.
And it was like we didn't have any idea what it was when we headed
Right.
up there.
All right, so yeah, Mr. Bill Blair, he does. He's got his set up out in his shop, right? Is that where you were in his shop?
No,
It wasn't?
Right down on Main Street.
It was downtown.
Okay, because I know he does some of his shows. We went and visited him last Saturday when we went to the Winston Cup Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, Winston Cup Museum.
Because there was, all kinds of tables in there, and all Bobby Ellison, Donnie were both there.
Yeah.
There was quite a number of other ones there, and the street was full of old race cars
Yeah.
and stuff.
We got there a little bit after everybody left. Will Cronkite, I called him. He had just left, and I know Donnie and Bobby had just left too. So
Yeah.
we were running a little behind.
No,
but
we spent the day there.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's cool. Cool deal. We went up to Bill Blair's and went in his shop. So if you ever get a chance to go up there and you can see all the stuff that he has, all the 39 Fords or the parts he's got.
Oh, yeah,
flathead
he's got
Fords.
a lot of old stuff.
All the old flathead
stuff.
Fords.
The cars his dad raced.
Yep. The memorabilia, pieces from old tracks that he goes to, the ones he used to race at, or his dad raced at, whatever. His dad won Daytona in 1953, the Beach Road Course track, and he has pieces of the fence that are left over that nobody else has. Whatever, pieces of bricks, whatever. He's got it all. He should have a museum right there in his. Well, maybe not, but he could. And so yeah.
now they've got in Rome, New York, which is where we lived for 25 years, and that's where we did all the racing out of once I left Lockport. And there's a Rome Sports Hall of Fame in Rome, New York, that we've got. There's a whole lot of display stuff in there that's there, plus one of the cars that's a show car now that was a replica of the last car I drove. It's exactly like it. In fact, there's one there. There's our Speedway car is up in Oneida, New York, now being rebuilt. And the first car that I got from Troyer, which was a Pinto back in the day, is now been rebuilt, and it's in the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame in Mooresville. So
What kind of, did you say a Pinto?
it was a Pinto body, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we came from Coops, and then they had a late model deal going they had one going. We put a Falcon body on where the coupe was, and that thing, because they paid money.
Oh.
It looked terrible, but it did the job. And then we built one of them, and then after that, we had the Camaro, but that didn't catch on too good, so that took that off. put a pinto body back on that. And then after that, the Troyer car came in. So,
okay, the Troyer car. What exactly is that?
well, he started out. He was Maynard Troyer raced also modifieds,
Okay.
and he was a winner. And then he started was Troyer Engineering, and he built race cars to sell. And I figured, well, if it's come to the time that he had all the parts and everything else for him, that it was easier and cheaper to go get one of them. And if you wrecked it, you could take it up there and have it back the same day and go race again.
Okay.
And so I stayed with that for the rest of my years in racing.
Yeah. Sounds like a good deal. A lot simpler. I mean, just.
Well, it was. It
Sure.
turned out for us it was, because it was getting to the point where we had to build a jig and you had to have all this different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant you weren't going to be racing, and I'd rather go racing. So,
Right. Yeah. That's right.
Maynard was one of the first production
yes,
facilities.
he was the first production company selling modified cars.
Okay.
And I had one of the first offset modifieds that came out of that shop. So.
Mm-hmm. Very good. All right. Well, that's cool. That's the first time I heard of it. I've learned a few things so far this evening. Something about Christy, Miss Goodies, or is it Goodies?
Miss Goody's headache.
Headache, yes.
1989.
All right. It's going to be a fun show. We still got plenty left. So, but we're going to take a quick break, and then you got any questions coming in?
Yeah, there's
comments?
a few questions.
Okay. Well, we'll get to those questions as soon as we come back. I promise this time we'll get right on those. We'll be right back to Racing Roots with Hamm and Jerry Cook.
With more than 20,000 students, Iredell-Statesville schools rank among the 20 largest school districts in North Carolina. Our teachers represent a wealth of knowledge, with the average teacher in our district having 15 years of teaching experience. Iredell-Statesville Schools' innovative approach blends a one-to-one technology initiative with collaborative best practices and a hands-on approach to learning. In addition to traditional school settings, the district provides a wide range of exciting educational opportunities through our choice programs, specifically designed for unique student needs. No matter your age, your background, or your personal goals, there's a place for you in the Iredell-Statesville schools.
Quality care at affordable prices. Pope's Tree Service is a cut above the rest, specializing in tree removal, trimming, brush removal, chipping, and storm damage cleanups, serving communities in and around Iredell County. Let Pope's Tree Service get to the root of your problems. Fully insured and bonded. For your free estimate, call 704-880-3713. Visit them online at popestreeservicellc.com or on Facebook. Pope's Tree Service. Attention to detail guaranteed. It's time to get cutting with Pope's Tree Service.
At Banner Drug, we are proud to say we have been caring for our patients in our community since 1996. Our pharmacy offers a personalized customer service experience you expect from a locally owned store. To help you with your prescriptions, all 4 Banner Drug locations can deliver your medication right to your door. You can call in your prescription refill order, or better yet, use the convenient refill button on our website, www.bannerdrug.com.
Some would say freedom died in 2021. No, we say freedom is here and she is taking her stand. Come visit the American Patriot Supply where freedom still rings. 920 Davie Avenue, Statesville. We like women with guns, but we love a room full of women with guns in their purses. Come check out all our concealed carry purses at the American Patriot Supply and keep us men safe. 920 Davie Avenue, Statesville.
All right, we're back to Racing Roots with Hamm. And we got Mr. Jerry Cook in here, 6-time NASCAR Modified champion and NASCAR Hall of Fame. Is that considered inductee, right? NASCAR Hall of Fame? Mm-hmm. Okay. I just want to make sure, because I always think when I hear inductee, that means you're being nominated. That's a nominee.
You're nominated.
See, I just figured it out.
And then once you attend the ceremony,
Yes.
you are therefore inducted.
I wasn't even able to teach myself something tonight.
Oh, Lord.
It must be getting, it's what do you call it? I forgot what the word would be.
I'm not wearing my boots.
It's, yes, I know, right?
In our sport, you get the ring, right?
So
It's all about the ring.
That's official.
Oh, yeah, all about the the bling. Yeah. All right. Which one? Okay, so which one's the Hall of Fame?
That's NASCAR.
Okay.
That's the International.
All right. Let me get that on the camera right here. So if you'll hold
This
that.
one?
There's a championship.
The championship is one of them.
One that's about wore out.
Oh, yeah, he's got both of them in the picture.
Yeah. All right. So if you'd like to see that ring and you're listening on the radio, go to DHammiam on YouTube and you can see it for Mr. Jerry Cook. So.
Yeah, David has one of the championship rings.
Okay, good. Wait, what was that from?
74.
74.
Modified champion.
Okay, yeah, because you only got a certain number of fingers. You can't wear all 6.
And I have the diamonds.
And then
she has the diamond out of one, so.
Oh.
I had to make my own ring because it didn't fit.
Okay, all right, that's good. I only got one ring with diamonds, one racing ring, and that was when 2004. Yeah, the 2004 one with Kurt Busch, the 97 car. It's all real diamonds. I upgraded.
You did.
Because Doug Yates paid the rest or whoever,
Right.
and so I
You should have
upgraded
told
to.
me that.
Oh my gosh, man! I tell you what, I've got that
just in
shovel
trouble.
digging tonight. So, Mr. Is it John Brawley?
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm
Yes.
terrible
Yep.
names. Mr. Brawley was in here earlier. He had a few comments. He said one of them was the you can see what kind of page I have it here, and one of them was the main gate speedway security. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm going to get to this after we go with our questions. I promised when we come back
You
we were going to
did.
do
You
questions.
promised.
So
You
I
did.
apologize, my friends. We are going on the questions right now. We'll get back to that.
All right. So Bob Miller asks, did we ever run a Falcon at Syracuse or just the Pinto?
Just the Pinto.
Just the Pinto.
Say that again. Pinto.
Yeah, coupe.
Yeah, and the last time I did it, it was a coupe.
No, first one was a coupe. Last one was we had to put a gremlin body.
No, it was a little bit of half and half. Yeah.
The last 80, we put the raised roof gremlin.
That's right. Yeah, and then I had Jerry Rose's car.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was after that.
Okay.
So next question is, Dickie Dennis says, where did you race in Virginia?
Oh, that Martinsville's #1
There you go.
in Franklin County, Richmond, Pulaski. Yeah, I never raced there, but I've been there. Pulaski. Oh, that was Pulaski.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's when it was dirt.
So Stephen Knipe asked, did Jerry use Jack Tant or Ron Hutter engines?
Neither one.
There you go.
Don Brown.
It was, yeah.
Bob Burnett.
Well,
And
it
Bob
was
Bruno.
Bob Bruno's at that time.
Okay. Steve Knight's up there in maybe an hour somewhere. Anyway.
Yeah, he says, was Richie Evans' shop in Rome also?
Oh, yeah. His shop was downtown Rome, and mine was just outside of Rome.
Okay.
And everything you hear about the two of us, it's true.
Oh.
And
yeah.
all the kids went to school together.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
And
How
actually,
are-
we're still friends.
And we actually like
Oh.
each other.
Yeah.
No enemies.
That was going to ask. That was my, yeah.
Oh,
very
I didn't get in
good.
any fights.
No.
That I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Now, we got along, too. There were some days when it might have been a little testy, but for the most part, we got along through all that.
So one of his sons worked with us there. Steve Knight, you can tell me that answer. He worked with us for a little while. One of Richie's. I'm pretty sure.
He only has
Oh,
one son.
well,
so
there you
it
go.
is Richie.
There's the
Richie.
answer. Yeah. It's been a long time ago. It seems like a whole generation ago.
Time flies when you're having fun.
You're right about that.
So I'm thinking it was one of his sons.
All right. So
His only son.
I mean,
Probably.
I'm sorry. Quit saying more of his sons.
He has,
Okay.
he has several daughters, but one son.
David's going
Okay.
to be like, I need to breathe.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I'll ask another question while you catch your breath.
Yes, thank you very much.
Did Mr. Cook ever race at Columbia Speedway in Columbia, South Carolina?
No, not that I remember.
Yeah, that's a Columbia Speedway. It's been around a long time.
I've heard of it, yes.
Legendary track.
That is all the questions
Okay.
thus far,
Did
except
we-
for is Sherry here.
We got Jim Dooley tuned in now. He says, awesome stories. Virginia is the best state to race in. Just need to lock up the fence climber. Yeah. Dickie's watching there. Yeah, he's on here. Okay. Yeah. Dickie Dennis, the infamous fence climber, 2014 Richmond, climbed up there and stopped the race. Remember that guy? He don't watch the show.
I raced up in Canada where they had to put the yellow out because a fan fell off the back straightaway wall onto the racetrack.
Oh, no. Well, that's probably a little more dangerous than climbing on a fence. I mean, at least he had experience with the military. I'm not going to say jumping out of helicopters, but yeah, he wasn't doing that. Anyway, he had experience with heights and stuff, so he was able to climb up there. Yeah.
Well, good for him. But as far as Virginia goes, Martinsville Speedway was 650 miles from our home.
Yeah.
And it liked me, and I liked it to the point where I called it my home track.
Yes. How many clocks do you have?
We have 6 out of 6.
Yeah.
6.
We had 7 wins there.
Yeah.
And some of the one of them was a shorter race. It was only 150 laps. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
At that time, you didn't get a clock for that.
Oh.
But you do.
Yeah, I was going to.
Yes, you do now.
No,
Not-
the first.
No, not.
That was for the 500.
That was for the 500.
For the 500. Yeah, I was going to say, we got you an additional one.
Yeah.
All right. So do you have any down here? Because, I mean, you don't need that many clocks.
We have,
You know?
So I have one.
I kinda like-
My brother has
David has
one.
Yeah.
We have 2.
Yeah. Well, you don't need 2.
2 of them I gave to Pete Hollebrand, who owned Hollebrand Trucking,
Yeah.
and his son. They each got one.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
for the first race was a 500 lap race. He didn't get a clock. He got a trophy.
Yeah.
So just a couple years ago,
After the Hall of Fame.
after the Hall of Fame,
Uh-huh.
the kids got him a grandfather
Aw.
clock from Martinsville.
Oh,
Yeah.
very
the plaque on
nice. Very nice.
Clay Campbell.
Yep, through Clay.
In fact, the trophy from that 500 lap race that I won is now in NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte in Martinsville's display.
Yeah.
Because this is their 75th consecutive year of racing.
Okay, yeah. How about that? I remember when it was the 50th. I was going to the track then, but anyway. That's very cool, though. Were you surprised when you got that clock?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a big moment. Y'all got pictures of it?
Oh.
Pictures of you with it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you show me later. That's cool.
They're in his
Yep.
office.
And if we had a caller calling in, you can call back, and you might have to wait just a minute or so, just so you know.
So Kieran Bjorgus, I guess. Burgoyce says, "Who cleaned all your race trophies?"
I did. I think I did. Maybe with your help.
Who cleaned them all? Yes.
He says, "I plead the 5th. I don't want to go there."
And she could come back.
Yeah.
They all need it again.
Oh, there you go. Will Cronkrite's calling. Oh no. Hey Will, if you're tuned in, call the other number that you have. Sorry about that. Here's the problem. His phone, he has my number down as this number, and then this number down as my number. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Strike that, reverse it.
I actually
Whatever.
understood what you were saying.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
So
I
if
work
he-
for Robert Yates.
Yeah. Well, that's a compliment. See, that's the way us engine builders are.
That's right.
We talk in code.
Decipher.
Oh, we've got White
Have to decipher
tuned
us.
in. White from this weekend.
Oh yeah, Mr. White.
White.
Yeah, he's up there in Sterling Marlin
He
country.
said, "First time watching, love it, spreading the word."
Yeah, Mr. Red Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rod Farm.
Rod Farm. Huh?
R-O-D.
Oh, it is Rod Farm. I'm sorry about that. I was
He's getting
eyes.
his eye fixed Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm getting it. So I've had I got a microscope and a telescope. I mean, I say that because this eye I can see right here, and past that, I don't see y'all. This eye I can see a mile away. I can see a fly laying sitting on top of that building over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had both retinas detached.
Yeah. So anyway,
Nicole can relate.
but it's all good.
Well, they've kept mine up where I got 20/20 vision yet.
Good.
That's what I'm gonna have. I was telling them earlier. I made this joke up right quick. I have 19/20 vision. It's like I was born in 1920. Get it? Just like that. Hopefully, I'll have 20/20 by then.
Stand-up days are still to come.
All right, I'm working on it. Hey there, who we got on the phone with us?
This is Will.
Hey there, Mr.
I just
Will.
wanted to. Can you hear me? It's Will.
Hey,
Yes,
Will,
sir.
I was. I saw you were calling.
Yeah,
but you had.
I'm sorry about them telephone numbers. I'm just learning to read or write.
That's
I don't
it.
want to take up many of Jerry's time, but I'm embarrassed that I don't know much about Jerry's history, but he sure is a fan favorite at the racers reunions that I've been to, and I appreciate his willingness to sit at the same table with me for a couple hours at a time. He's a class act, and he's a genuine gentleman worthy of all his accolades, and I just wanted to say hello.
Well, thank you. Good to talk to you, too. Good to have you there.
Well, I learned how to talk nice to folks. You're a fan favorite, and people stand in big, long lines to talk to you, and I guess I'm just calling to say I'm proud to know you. I wish I knew more about your history, and NASCAR needs to have more executives with actual track experience, and I appreciate what you give to NASCAR in that regard.
Well, thank you very much. I spent 34 years with NASCAR. That was after I quit racing cars.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed big time. I was in a total of 25, and that was about all I could stand, I reckon. But I don't want to take up your time, guys. I just wanted to say hello to Jerry, and I'm just impressed to know him, and he's a fine gentleman. We need more men like him in NASCAR.
Well, I'm sure we'll see each other somewhere this fall.
I'd like that, Jerry. I'm going to go, guys. I just wanted to say hello, Jerry. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Will.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Talk to you later. Hey, yeah, you'll see him. He'll be coming up to the event on September 10th in Mount Airy, the old Moonshiners reunion. Will Cronkite will be up there for that. I feel pretty sure about that.
And he was at the Stocks for Tots one too.
Yep, he sure was. He sat right beside you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That was a busy night there.
It was.
There was well over 200 people that came through there that night.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was more than I thought was going to be there. I mean, just because it was.
When we had it over the NASCAR school, we had a good turnout there too.
Okay.
And then they moved it downtown and had us all in one big area there. That was it was big.
Yeah, very good.
A couple of years ago, when we all had time off for.
Oh, and that's exactly. We were kind of, and then for Stocks for Tots, we were kind of just getting away from all that time off in a way, and things kind of turned around finally. But Will Cronkite he provided the first competitive NASCAR for Dale Earnhardt Sr. in 1978. It was him, and so that was he has his book NASCAR Redneck. So check it out, NASCARredneck.com. You got any more comments over there, Tracy?
Not yet. I do have one question. Did Mr. Cook ever race at Canoc Speedway?
Canoc.
Yes.
Sure enough.
Concrete Palace.
The Cement Palace.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
That's where you ran, and usually the harder you go, the faster you go. Not there, the other way around.
Ah.
Okay.
If you took it a little easy, you went faster because you couldn't put it on the floor. There was no straightaway. Straightaway was from here to the front door. So.
Oh, all right. So you could fill that place up with water and call it a concrete or a cement pool.
Well, you could,
Kinda.
yeah.
That's what Kyle Petty used to say about Bristol. He said it about Darlington, and he said it about Bristol the next week because he wrecked both times. But he fill this place up and stock it with bass.
Yeah.
I remember that very well.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any tracks that you felt that way about?
Well, yeah, Trenton was one.
Yeah.
Trenton didn't like me, and I didn't like it. So,
yeah.
And then they wouldn't put a right-hand turn down the back straightaway, and that really did it. So,
I understand. Yeah, I guess now we can get to the questions that Mr. John Brawley had for you, or they weren't questions; they were more like comments. And then Bryson kind of cleaned it up a little bit, so maybe I can see it. Maybe I should have Christy read this. Are you looking for a part-time job there, Christy? Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Another?
We'll let Lauren read it.
That'd be
She has her
great.
glasses on. Go ahead.
What's your number?
Maybe I'm so hard to understand, but he was talking pretty fast.
Sorry about that.
He was saying what his title is, and then that's his question.
No, John's a good friend. We've gone different places that shows or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. And he lives outside of Mooresville there.
He was a NASCAR official, right? Or he worked at the track.
He worked security, yes.
Security, okay. Yeah, he's one of those. You don't have a pass, got to have a hall pass, or whatever.
All right, so go ahead. So now that we know that John worked at the main gate at the Speedway Security, Secret Service came in because the president was coming to the race, and then this is where he continues.
Oh,
They told Jerry he better move his vehicle because they were going to send the dogs through it.
No, it wasn't the vehicle, it was what was in it. There was a briefcase sitting in my car.
Yeah.
And I have a hot rod. It's a 37 Chevy Coupe with a rumble seat.
Ooh.
And I had it at the racetrack at Charlotte that day. And they saw that briefcase in there and they went crazy. So
He's always had a briefcase, though. That's like your signature.
Yeah,
It's a story with that briefcase. Yeah.
I've got two, but that's another story too.
Yeah.
So your briefcase. So what did you didn't have any? I mean, the dogs sniffing around the car. Or
I
something?
guess, yeah. They.
Did you go retrieve your briefcase before the dogs got a hold of it?
Yeah, they took care of that. We got that out of there. So
yeah, that wouldn't be good if they got in there scratching on your seats.
Oh no.
Well, with the Secret Service, I've had some time with them also because at 2 different racetracks, I have driven what were presidents of the United States around the track in the pace car. So I had a security clearance to drive the president of the United States.
Oh.
And I drove Bill Clinton around Darlington, and I took the car right up to the wall.
Oh,
Did it scare him?
And he never said a word.
He didn't.
All right.
And then I drove George Bush around Daytona, and he never stopped talking.
Oh.
We're leading the whole field, and I've slowed right down.
Yeah.
We could have went on for another hour. That was fun.
Yeah, I bet too.
So what was John's
That's
question?
cool stories there. Driving the presidents around.
Oh yeah, we have our Hall of Presidents at home. So
all right.
We have those pictures and they're both signed.
Oh, that's awesome. Hanging in the hall, I guess.
Yeah, and we still have friends that are retired Secret Service.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Good
yeah,
deal.
when they'd come and stay, I didn't have to worry about security.
Yeah. I don't know, for some reason I was having images of Bill Clinton saying stuff and other things, but
He never said a word.
and
Just wondering if he was scared is why. He's
Yeah.
like, oh crap, are we going to hit this wall?
yeah, Jerry. Anyway.
That close.
All right. All right. So what was the next one they had there?
There were 2 questions. What year was your first grandfather clock at Martinsville?
Well, let's see. That would have been 1969.
Year I was born.
That was the year David was born.
And 71.
That was the year I was born.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So the first
Me too.
actual
They got a clock for
he
every
got
birth.
from them
Yeah, first-
was in
That's why we have
71,
each
and
of those
69
I
was the
gotcha.
one that Christy replaced. Gave him.
I got you. Very nice.
Yeah, and then we had them all in the house for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They were all, you could never get them all to ding and dong at the exact same time.
Oh, is that right? Ding and dong. You should
So
name
hopefully
them.
they were in different areas of the house, so it didn't sound like.
Well, we didn't have that big a house. They were.
Yeah. There you go. You should name them Ding and Dong then.
What was the
Ding or
second
dong.
question?
And then how did you get said grandfather clocks home?
Oh, that's.
Oh, that's right.
The first one I won, Clay Earls was there then. That's Clay Campbell's grandfather. And we won that clock, and we had an open truck, and we were going to take that clock home with us.
Yeah.
And I'll ship it. I'll ship it to you. You'll have it in a few days. And no, we're taking it with us. And we did.
No.
We had it up on the front bumper of the race car, strapped or tied to the race car on the back of that open truck.
Wow. I bet you got some looks going down the road. And
Well, it was all in a box, you know.
I was going to ask if it suffered any
That makes
damages
sense.
on the ride
No,
home.
it was all in. It was in a box.
Okay, that makes it better.
Because one time there was a friend of ours that drove tractor trailer, and he stopped at Martinsville on his way home and had an empty trailer. And I won the race that day, and that 40-foot trailer had one clock in it going back to Rome, New York.
all
Precious
right.
cargo.
Well, he got a story out of that. So that's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. We also had some questions coming in. Oh, was that the last one there?
I asked the last one, yes.
I meant from
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Brawley.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the last
Oh,
one
yeah,
from
that was last
John. Yes.
Yeah.
John.
I think I asked all the questions that came through.
I
Well-
think we got one from Mark Pitts.
Dale Jr., when he won his race at Martinsville and his clock, he lives in Mooresville. He took it home, put it together that night, and had it standing in his house.
Yeah, I could see that. I believe that would be me too if I were to win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the most cherished trophy that there is in NASCAR racing.
Sure. Yeah.
And two of our clocks, we promised David and Christy when they got their own home, not a rental, when they got their own home, they would each get a clock, and that was the first thing they asked for.
Oh yeah, I would too. Well, I just got a new home about 7 years ago, but close enough. And my name's David.
And you were in racing?
Well, you can go to Martinsville and win one.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Earn it,
You
baby.
can run a late model, a modified, cup car,
That's
and
right.
trucks even, yeah.
See, my dad don't race, so I just don't have a chance. My nephew does. Maybe he'll help me.
You know
out
what?
if
There
he-
is one question that I overlooked.
Yeah.
Mark Pitts says, "Hey from Mooresville, enjoying watching your show and hearing your stories. Are you planning to be at North Wilkesboro in August?"
That's a possibility. It depends what they're going to race there.
Mm-hmm.
They're running
Modifieds are going to be there in August.
Oh, we did just
That
get
is
one
the
of the
pastor of our
Probably
church.
one.
You got what?
That is the pastor of our church.
Oh, is it
Mark Pitts.
Mark
Yes.
Pitts.
He
Wait a
drew
minute.
one of
Hold on.
them.
Hold on. Mark Pitts. What church is that? Can you say?
Williamson's Chapel.
Is that
United
what?
Methodist on the corner of Brawley and
Yeah.
Williamson.
I know Mark Pitts.
Casey Cook.
I've known Mark Pitts for
granddaughter.
gosh, Mark Pitts. How long have we known each other? A long
Oh,
time.
here's one.
25, maybe something like that.
He's awesome.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
Lauren's already taken his.
Yeah, sure is.
He's
Great
one
guy.
of the
Always.
reasons we like going there.
Yeah.
But of course, the
is-
person that really made it possible for all of us to
Yeah.
accomplish what we did was Pete Hollebrand and his son Pete Jr.
Okay.
And they owned Hollebrand Trucking, and we were together for what, 14, 15 years,
20.
I think? Huh?
20.
20 years.
Yes.
Right.
Because it was coming to the point where it was getting out of my pocket and there wasn't much left in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then he came on board and he loved winning championships, and that's what we went after.
Yeah.
So.
So if he hadn't won the championship, then he'd have been moving on to somebody else. So
Well,
so you kept it rolling.
no. We stayed together because we didn't win.
Well,
I won six.
let me
you know.
let me rephrase that. If he hadn't have won that first one and given him that taste of the winning the championship, you still would have been friends.
Oh, we are.
You know what I mean? But
You know.
but he might have eventually said, "Well, you know what? This guy over here's winning."
No,
No, he wasn't. All right, well, that's
When
fine.
we got together one day, he drives in the driveway
Yeah.
where we had the race car shop was at our house.
Yeah.
And had a new truck. He says, "Here's your new truck."
Oh wow, very nice. Now what's his number? Oh, I'll get it from you later. I made a new friend.
Well,
I'm going this way.
sad to say, he's passed away.
Oh,
too,
okay.
so.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
So another question did come through. Stephen Canoc says, "Did Jerry ever race against Gordy Smith from Oxford, New York?"
Yeah, Shangri-La.
Yeah, Shangri-La.
Shangri-La.
But I
yeah.
think he was in a street stock.
Yeah,
at
I
that
do
time.
recall that name.
Gordy Smith was in a street stock.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
I raced at the same racetrack, yes.
So I assume that's a yes.
Same racetrack. So
They should have been here
Or-
tonight.
I would go back to Mark Pitts right quick. You know who Mark Pitts always reminded me of? He always reminded me of Mark Martin when I saw him. For some reason.
I say that, yes.
Just always did. Now, especially if you know him back in his younger days. So like I did. Like I said, I've known him probably 25 years. He says a long time. So, yeah, it has been a long time. He was over at First Baptist in
You
Mooresville.
just gotta.
Yes, he was.
Oliver, your great grandson, says hello from home since he couldn't be here.
Hello, Oliver.
And there's a lot
Oliver.
of folks. There's a lot of folks chiming in
You should-
saying, "I just got a house."
Yeah, how about that clock?
Yes.
That could be my housewarming present. Yes.
We will attest to the quality of the clocks. They all still work.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
They all.
Mm-hmm.
My
Very
father
good.
has one, doesn't he?
Hey,
Every 15 minutes.
I like the name Oliver. Every time I hear it, it reminds me of Green Acres. Oliver.
Yes.
Love that.
David is the
Oliver's our
Great grandson.
great-grandson.
Mm. All right. Is he named after anybody in particular? It's just
No.
Oliver, because that's not like a common name anymore.
Oliver and
You know?
Claire. Yeah, they're simplistic names. Yeah.
Claire's his little sister, and she's
the boss.
Yeah,
Okay.
she runs the show.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The baby girl. What were you asking me, Tracy?
The clock that is at Dad's. Instead of Martinville.
Yeah, I believe it is. I don't remember where he got it from, but
It was Norman.
it was Norman's.
Norman helped bring it back, I believe.
Kazumishu.
Norman.
Bless you. You know Norman.
Oh, Norman.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Our Norman. I've got one of his clocks. I've got one of his clocks. It's not a grandfather clock.
He doesn't have the
It hangs on the
grandfather
wall.
clock.
It says Haviland. Yeah. So I'll call that my Norman grandfather clock.
Right.
Yes. There
I'll
you
be
go.
good. Have y'all met my wife Tracy, by the way? Sorry.
I'm over here in the corner.
I think I introduced Bryson. You know, we were talking about the mullet and gave him a spotlight, but we haven't given her any kind of spotlight.
I don't get creds usually. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's true.
I'm used to it.
Hey, but we went to the Sterling Marlin reunion, and a lot of my old friends were like, "Hey, I know you. I've seen you on TV."
Yeah, because I was at the check-in. I was at the check-in desk, and I was asking them, "Okay, what's your name?" So I could put it on a piece of paper, do the hello. My name is such and such. And they're so, "I know you."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. How about that?
That's nice. How?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me and Sterling sat down there with us for a while. I was doing video. Anyway, I was down there till 2:00 in the morning. Me and Mr. White here. Mr. White, is he still tuned in?
He hasn't commented lately, but he's
Yeah.
probably watching.
But he's back in Tennessee now. A lot of good old Sterling Marlin stories. That's what we usually ask our guests. Do you have any Sterling Marlin stories? I guess you wasn't around him that much, were you?
I know of him, but I never raced with him.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
played against him on the Family Feud.
Oh.
Yes. We lost.
I forgot about the Family Feud thing.
She sent me the video the other day.
Okay, I
Did
need to
she?
YouTube that.
Is it?
Oh,
is-
yeah, it's on YouTube.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
I want to look it up too because someone else
I
mentioned
love
that.
Family Feud.
Elliot Sadler, Carolyn, and then Brett Griffin, who was our spotter, and Amy, who was our PR person, then myself. We went by heights.
Oh, is that what it was?
And they beat us. And
Yeah.
So tell David this, because he bought me the little travel game for Mother's Day or
Family
my
Feud.
anniversary or something.
Yeah,
I don't
something
remember.
sentimental like
But
that.
anyway, yeah, really. And he was like, "It can't be that hard to answer a question." But
likes
when you're in
family.
the moment, it's hard.
Oh.
Because we played it at the
Signs,
beach,
it's
me
how
and my
you do the
girlfriend.
applaud, and you
Yeah.
have to like hold your hand.
Sure.
You have to smile, and it's how you to clap.
I know. I don't like that. I'd be like, do I have to clap? I
She
mean,
did get her
everybody's
question
standing
right,
there
though.
clapping.
I did get my questions were right. Yes.
Okay.
Not enough to win.
Yes.
But it does put you on the spot. You should try playing it
I'll
sometime.
try. Yes.
He never likes to play games
Yeah.
with me.
Well, see, here's the deal.
Too
I
serious.
I buy a present thinking that, you know what, this is Family Feud. Yeah, it only cost me $5. I just told him myself. And but you know what, it's going to be quality time spent together, which is priceless.
But
Thank
you
very
won't
much.
play. But
I
you
don't
won't
like
play.
playing
Play something.
I fall
So
asleep.
it's not a
You know
one-player
what?
game.
So David
All
and
right, I'll see.
we were in CrossFit 77
Yeah.
together.
Oh, yeah.
So we were like the worst
Yes,
runners.
we were.
So we would run together. and
David's
we
not a
would
good
chit-chat
runner.
while we were.
Yes.
Yeah, while we were doing our thing.
Just getting your cardio while
We're
you're
getting our
running.
cardio in.
Yeah.
Well, all right, so how I was going to say how short are how tall are you?
5 even.
5 even, okay. Not 4'11" and a half.
No.
My granny
Not
was
5'1" either.
My granny was 4'11".
Yeah.
Okay.
she was short.
Susan, Miss Susan, how tall are you? Sorry, I don't know.
She's about right
I don't know why.
You need a fan?
What did you want to know?
I just need to shut up.
Age.
If he asks you your weight, then punch him.
Don't ask you for no more numbers.
Sort of. Christy, you want to come sit here and take over?
I'm the 4'11".
Okay, 4'11".
Dad, why don't you tell David about your CrossFit experience?
Yeah, tell
How
about
did you
your
make it to
CrossFit.
CrossFit?
Oh, I got pretty sick here a few years back, and when I got back home, I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't move. I was in intensive care for 5 weeks, and they pretty much didn't think I was going to make it more than one time. And when I did get back, because they flew down, Robert flew his plane down to pick me up. I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
On vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Headed
did
there
make the
with,
vacation.
Yeah,
with
us
her.
three.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I had gotten over medicated, and it killed my immune system and almost killed me.
Oh, my goodness.
And when I got back is when I got voted into the Hall of Fame, and the induction was going to be in January. And I was in a rehab for 2 months?
July through
Yeah,
November.
Something like that,
July
yeah.
until November.
And once they figured out that who I was and what I was after, it was like 7 days a week trying to get me back together again. And I did walk across that stage at that Hall of Fame.
All right,
When
good for you.
When he got out, they released him and he came home.
Yeah.
Christy came in and she says, "You're all set. Got you set up for CrossFit."
Oh.
Our eyes
Not
got
sure
about-
the look on his face was
Oh,
like
yeah.
ours when we went.
Right.
I couldn't even walk.
Hours. Oh, my. Well, after CrossFit, I couldn't walk half the time.
We couldn't either. We crawled.
I couldn't walk when I got there. It was.
He didn't. He was literally
It was-
rolling in
That's
there.
bad. Yeah.
Well, I had my
Right.
CrossFit
But Paul-
experience with David.
Was his trainer
Yeah, it's Paul. Yeah.
Yeah.
for a couple
good.
years. Amazing.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
Yeah. Doing great. There's a
Doing
video
great.
on YouTube about
Yes.
that too.
I sent
There
David
is.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll have to
Well,
try to
I,
get that to y'all.
I figured it out that the good Lord looked down and saw it was me
Mm-hmm.
and said, I don't want him up here yet. He's too much trouble.
Yes.
And that's
him
when
there
I
for a while.
started to come out of that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite ready for you yet. 'Cause,
No.
well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. You didn't have to go run that mile though, did you? Like they would tell us to.
No.
I'm like, you want me to run a mile? I
They
mean,
start out, they're like, it's just a warm up. And David and I did not quite feel
Yes.
that it was a warm up.
No, that's torture.
We were like,
Running is torture.
David, just run with me so I'm not by myself.
well, and yes.
So he can say he
And
did
he
it as
did.
pity.
He did that for me.
Oh,
I
of
did.
course he did.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Helton was there and he said, you're going to be okay? And I said, I think so.
Yeah.
I says, and he said, well, if you go down, just yell Mike, I'll come scoop you up. So,
Oh yeah. That's
That was
nice.
on the stage of the Hall of Fame.
yeah, that was on the stage. So.
Yeah. That's the other video. It's on YouTube
Yes,
too, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. That's gosh, I'm more out thinking about CrossFit, you know,
I know.
because I need to get back to doing something.
Heck, when I went to that rehab, they said, what's your goal?
Yeah.
And I said, to get out of this bed and walk out the door. And
Oh,
at
yeah.
that time, I couldn't even get out of the bed.
Yeah.
But
Were you
then,
yeah.
once I was there and they figured out what I was after, and my goal changed to be able to get out of there and go to the Hall of Fame and walk across that stage.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to do all of his
So-
videos, all of his speech, writing everything from like rehab while he's in
Yeah.
the midst
While he
of
was there.
exercise, doing all these things.
Yeah.
To like prepare, this is nonstop. Like it's a full-time job.
Wow.
But before you got here, he said how great you were at handling everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. Anyway.
As all of a sudden at the Hall of Fame, the snow started falling.
Oh,
And there was an
gosh.
ice, like rain,
Oh,
ice,
yeah.
Oh, it was-
snow, you name it. And it was like TV delayed, and I had a party that was kind of going with that. So I just ran in the bathroom at the Hall of Fame and sat on a toilet and cried. I didn't know what to do.
But it turned out okay, right?
It did.
It did.
I lost about 10 pounds.
And then we finally got home, and the snow was about 6 inches deep. And she's
crazy.
driving up the driveway and gets about 3/4 of the way up, and it ain't going to go no farther.
Y'all live on a hill.
And then
Little
she
bit.
says, well, I'll make another run. I says, if you do, you won't get this far.
Yeah.
So we left it there because the guys were coming the next day. Just got out of the car, and that was a chore just to get from the car to the garage because I wasn't doing too good yet.
I was going to
so-
say, how did you do that? I
Yeah,
mean,
very carefully, I might add.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Yep,
The
but we
CrossFit
made
helped
it.
you with that.
One foot in
That's
the
it.
other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, so I remember running. We go run that mile where some people we'd be on our way to the end of the road, and other people are already going back, you know, past us.
Wave.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm built for strength, not speed, or distance. I'm not, you know. I could put some weights up and put them down.
All my glory was sitting in that seat. All I
Yeah.
had to do was keep turning that steering wheel.
Sure, yeah. And you had to stay in shape for that, pretty much. I would
Well,
say.
we raced so much that's how I.
Oh.
In wintertime, I did.
Yeah.
I'd go to the Y, but
Right.
in the summer, at one time we ran 8 races in 6 days.
Wow.
And they weren't all next door to each other. That was 2 cars, 2 trucks, an airplane, and about 12 or 15 people.
Yeah. Hey, when I went go-kart racing last time, I think we had to do like 12 laps. And my shin, you call it the shin on the front of your leg, yeah, felt like it was just about to die because I had to keep doing my ankle like this or whatever.
Oh, yeah, you got to do that.
He's
yeah.
out of shape.
Mashing the gas.
That's what Lauren will do a little go-karting. That's her thing.
What keeps you in shape, getting in and out of the cars, too.
But that 500 lapper was back in 1969.
Yeah.
And the race cars we had then, they're like driving a tractor
I was
today.
going to ask how many years you
sure.
had power steering.
I didn't. Yeah, well, let's see. The first car I got from Troyer's was the first one I think that had power steering. And I've got it, and I'm saying, how stupid could you be not to run it before now?
Oh.
You know?
I mean, yeah, I think the whole thing is that power steering takes away from the power of the engine sometimes, whatever.
Baloney.
But yeah. What about,
everybody runs it now?
That's it. Exactly. It's like, what about the driver? What about the drivability and, yeah, all that good stuff.
But that 500 lapper, the last 100, I didn't want no more caution. Just let it go. Because I had the second place car right in front of me. And I was afraid to lap him for fear he'd wreck me. So.
Yeah, sure.
And I just ran it out.
So are you one of these people that can focus on stuff? Like if you're set, you have a goal in mind, you know what you want to do, and you just got this extreme focus. That's what I'm going to do. And you go for it. Yeah. Okay.
I learned that we had a 400 lapper Utica-Rome Speedway. And I went out in the first one of them thinking, well, this is just 400 laps, and you get dizzy. And then I realized really quick you had to concentrate on every single lap.
Sure.
I learned that early on, thank goodness.
Yeah, because you see guys that are leading the race or whatever, and like I asked Joe Logano when he came in after he won the championship, 2018, what were you thinking on that last lap? And it's like what they're thinking about their goal at the end. You have to be looking at where you want to be. Versus if you start looking over here, that's probably where you're going to end up. If you start looking in the stands that somebody's flipping me off or something, you're probably going to go, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Anyway,
you run every lap like it was the whole race, no matter how long it is.
Yeah.
Because we ran 300 lappers and 400 lappers and 500.
Yeah.
And everything from Islip Speedway was a fifth of a mile. 5 laps a minute.
So it's just round, probably.
5 laps a minute, and I didn't run there all the time, so I always started last, and had to get to the top 5 in 10 laps. That's 2 minutes.
Wow! How about that?
Yep.
I bet that's
and I made it. I did.
Yeah. You have fun doing that.
And I won races there. In fact, I had the record there for a 30-lap feature race, and I started about 8th or 10th or something.
Yeah.
But the key was there was no caution for that race. That's how that record, that stood forever. I got a plaque hanging on the wall for that one.
Wow. Did you lap the whole field in one shot?
No, I wasn't worried about that. Just got to the front.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. So those cars, whenever you let off the wheel, they automatically turn left?
Yeah, because that's the way it's going to go. If you let go of the wheel, it's going to go left.
Yeah. So I noticed that on this 41 Ford that I drove in a race. No, it wasn't. On a racetrack, the original dirt race road course, sand road course down in Ponce Inlet, Florida. We got to go ride down there in the parade. North Turn Legends Beach Parade.
Yeah.
And we were in a 41 Ford.
The Living Legends.
And that was Steve Levitt's car. It was Gardner Levitt was the original driver of it. Yeah, Gardner Levitt. And so, but that was the way it was. I was holding the wheel to the right the whole time just to stay straight.
We're not going to tell about how many gears you stripped.
No, I did not. It was good.
We can find out. We know Steve.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The gearbox is in perfect health. Perfectly good health.
I'm
Yes.
kidding.
It was. No, here's what happened with that car.
I'm kidding.
The throttle, it was stuck. It kept getting stuck on high idle. And so whenever I'd have to keep feathering the throttle to get it knocked down before I'd shift gears. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Ask him about Bowman Gray.
Bowman Gray. Bowman Gray Steve. The Madhouse, right?
Yep. Yeah. Sure enough. I've been there too and won there.
Oh, that's cool. You going to come back?
Won, 4 or 5 races there because we didn't run there all the time. But that's a racetrack around the football field.
Okay. Yeah.
So wherever they all went, and they always went to the inside, bumper to bumper, and I just stayed on the outside.
Oh, okay. So that's the secret.
You got to go where they don't go to pass them,
But they used to qualify on race night. But when we would come down for the big shows, after he would be on the pole they started qualifying the night before, and we couldn't be there.
Oh.
So I asked him who his relief driver was, or qualifier was.
Richard Childress.
Really?
Back when Richard was racing, I called him and asked him to go over there and qualify the car for me.
Okay, that's cool. It's good they let you do that.
Oh yeah.
Another driver.
Well, they did
says.
then. Now I think I changed that rule too.
Probably.
When I was in NASCAR.
Yeah, I was
Back
wondering.
then, you could change drivers, didn't lose your spot. So
Yeah.
I started in the spot he qualified it at,
How about
and it was in the top 10. So
Wow. Well, that's a cool story there. You got Mr. Richard Childers to qualify your car for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you would go on and win.
Well, when we'd come down and stay in the spring, when they'd start racing down south before we could up north.
Okay.
And we'd come down and stay for whatever races there were, and we worked on our car at Petty Enterprises in Randleman.
Okay.
And nobody I don't think has ever, because I knew Richard still do really well, he let us come in there and work on the car.
Yeah.
And they had a whole lot better stuff than we ever had.
Oh, yeah.
To set up a car. They had 4 scales. They were all good ones.
Oh. They wasn't the old grain scale, were they? Yeah.
The ones I had were.
Yeah.
And we only had 2.
Yeah.
We had to keep moving them front to rear. So.
That's what Bill Blair had in his shop. He has the old grain scales.
Yep.
They'd use to set the cars up. I was like, really? I never thought about that, because in NASCAR we always had the good stuff. I mean, but that worked. Yeah, definitely
and then
worked.
Here, a few years ago, I got inducted into the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame, and I needed somebody to introduce me or talk, so I got Kyle Petty to come up.
Oh.
So Kyle gets paid to talk, so he agreed to come up. We had a ball that day.
Yes.
Tony Stewart was there at the same time. We both got inducted.
Yeah.
So we had a ball that day.
That's cool. Yeah, Kyle's got the gift for gab.
Oh yes.
No doubt.
Yeah, I'll get him. He gets paid to talk.
Yeah.
I would do that again too.
That's
He was
right.
Good.
Hey, I want to mention right quick that we have and it's one of my sponsors, is Swimming Pool and Spa here in Statesville, and I don't have my glasses, but there they are. See, here's where I have to do this. So we're going to have a spring fling coming up April 30th, and there's going to be a bunch of different people there. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There are going to be raffles, food, live music, and local vendors. And we're going to have Aiden Sneed's Racing is going to be there. And have you ever heard the wrestler Gunner? Gosh, Gunner, he's a former WWE and TNA superstar Gunner. He's going to be there. And Racing Roots with Hamm will be there broadcasting live. And also, we're going to have Zach Brock in The Good Intentions and Wilson's Weenie Wagon. So that's April 30th. Yes. No other weenie measures up to Wilson's Weenie.
Oh, I don't know. Martinsville hot dogs are a pretty hot deal,
Yeah.
They're historic.
Sure are, yeah.
His aren't red, though, and they've got more girth.
Well, that is one thing there.
I come up with another slogan for him, but I'm not going to say that on my show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll sneak that
Please
in
don't.
sometimes, but not here.
So Bob C. does have a question. He says, did Jerry and Richie ever share parts at the racetrack?
Well, I don't remember, but I wouldn't doubt we probably did, because a lot of us did that. We always helped each other,
Mm-hmm.
But we usually had enough stuff, and so did he, that we didn't. I can't say, I don't remember anything, but I mean, when we raced like up in Canada on Wednesday, and then we go to Catamount Stadium Thursday, Albany Friday, and we'd all stay over at, there's a place just down from Albany to Saratoga Speedway, and we'd all work on each other's cars. One guy could do something, and I was the motor guy, and so we helped them. We go out and race against each other,
Oh, yeah.
But we all got along pretty good,
Yeah, so if you did, it wasn't very often.
No, not that I know of anyway. It might have been this or that or something, but nothing I remember.
I do remember going into Martinsville one day, and his car was jacked up, and they were taking parts out to put on Bobby Allison's car.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, we
Okay.
did that. Bobby had his own cup car, which was he used the older type stuff. And he had to have a drive shaft yoke for his car. So when we got done running the Modified on Saturday, we took the drive shaft out and he put the yoke in his cup car to run the next day. So
wow.
Yeah.
Do you remind him about that?
Oh, no. We didn't. Just another day at the races, you know.
Yeah.
Because nobody else had parts like that, and we didn't have an extra one with us, so we just took the one out of the car.
You could run down to Napa or AutoZone. I'm just kidding, of course. So if Richie Evans wasn't, let's say he was never born, or whatever, he wasn't around, how many championships would you have won, possibly?
Oh, probably quite a few more. Yeah.
Probably Richie's 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
because
Yeah.
when I retired in '82, we were 6 apiece. So
yeah. Okay.
And then after that, he didn't have nobody could keep up that pace.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he got 3 more. So
yeah, my opinion is if you win one, that's a big accomplishment.
well, it sure is, because we lost the first one. And I remember sitting there at the banquet saying, he's got my trophy.
Yeah.
So, and it took me a couple of years after that.
Yeah, lost the first 2.
Yep.
And it was probably really close.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a different points concept in the amount of races. So
Yeah, it was.
It was not like today.
Not like today where there's a set number. It's like 14 or 15 races. This was 60 or 70 races.
Yeah. Which is, it's wild.
And then there was championship races that paid, well, let's put it this way. One championship race would pay as many points as you could if you'd won every race at Utica-Rome Speedway for the whole summer.
Wow.
So that's why you had to run all the championship races.
Okay.
That's why we went to Bowman Gray Stadium as much as we did.
Okay.
Because they always ran the championship races.
I think that's a big part of why Bill France came up with this whole, or why they did the point system the way they did, and then to keep building, to get people there every week. Pretty
Well,
much,
they changed it 2 or 3 times when I was winning, and I still won.
Yeah. Don't you just love that? And Bo McGray says, we'll get you. We're going to make you qualify the night before you race. He figured out a way around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Because that's what we do. We're racers. Yes.
So the infamous Dickie Dennis has a question.
Yep.
He says, Mr. Cook, do you have a hold my beer story you could share?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, he said, hold my beer. We got to climb the fence.
Yeah, explain to him who Dickie is.
Oh, so Dickie's climbed the fence in 2014 at Richmond. He's like, basically, yeah. But he left his cell phone sitting in the seat. He went up there, climbed up the fence, and was going to get a selfie with the 4-car going by. And then he figured out he didn't have his phone, and so he was just like throwing his hands up in the air. Yeah. And he ended up spending some time in jail, and it cost him a little bit of money. So, and he was called an idiot by Alan Bessler, I believe it was.
Yeah. And banned forever.
Could be, yeah.
So that's him, yeah. He's our good friend. He's a good guy. Yeah. So do you have any of those moments that hold my beer or hold my Pepsi or whatever, moonshine, or you can tell it?
Lord, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know.
It's just us.
Thinking, David.
We were too busy getting.
Kids are here.
We run one race and we're headed to the next one.
Yeah. All right. Well, statute of limitations is over on all these tracks and stuff, so you can just tell it. You're already in the Hall of Fame. They're not going to take it back.
But these guys used to love it when we would come home at 2 and 3 in the morning, and all of their friends were sleeping, and they'd go swimming.
Oh,
yeah,
they would just,
that's cool.
Night shift.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't have much time at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of home time. Nope. All of our friends were at the racetrack.
Yeah. We didn't get to do all the fun things growing up. Sports, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look how promoted you.
And a lot of the friends, a lot of the friends that they grew up with when they were little, are now here on race teams, etc.
Yeah.
The Zipadellis, the Tommy Baldwins.
Oh yeah.
I can keep going.
Yeah.
So would you say that if you were born into racing, you pretty much stayed around it and kind of like made it your career in one shape or form?
No, I tried.
Right.
I did. I graduated from college and I was not going to work in racing, so I went to work for the Charlotte Hornets. I was so lost. I knew nothing. They were so tall.
That was the plan.
Yes.
Sheepishly.
That was what?
It wasn't, but it just worked out that way.
They left me. I mean, they did leave me and moved to Daytona.
Oh.
Yeah, most of the time the kids, you grow up, the kids leave, you know?
Yes.
Y'all left the kids.
They left.
We
and
left
we're
the
selling
kids,
the house,
left
and we
them
have to
home,
move.
and when we moved to
I was in
Daytona.
college.
Oh, yes.
That was, let's see, the first race at New Hampshire Speedway. And Bob Barrett built it, and I was the guy up north. And I'd go there once a month, and then I'd go there, was going every 2 weeks, and then every week. And then I was staying because the winter was so bad up there. And the date for the first race was scheduled, and I was the guy, I was there trying to put people together to do this and do that and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of me somewhere in one of our boxes of me riding a paving machine
Oh, yeah.
for New Hampshire Speedway.
Oh, man.
Another picture for the
So-
website.
Yeah, that is. That is. That's
We
great.
get Lauren on that.
If I could ever find it, yeah, because that's the weekend that they decided they wanted me to, well, they decided it before, they wanted me to come to Daytona and stay a while.
Okay.
Except I was so busy that everybody else knew it before I did.
Yeah. How about that?
And then after the
Well-
races, they finally asked me when do you want me there? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
I says, I got to run a test here tomorrow. When can you be? I can be there Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Stayed for 12 years.
Wow. See how that worked.
We sold a
He
house
left.
after a few months, got them an apartment because they were in college.
Yeah.
They left us.
Daytona.
They
Hey,
abandoned y'all.
I just had an
We
idea.
abandoned.
I just had an idea for you. If you can't find that picture, we can get Miss Amy Queen Chapin art.com to paint it for you, right?
Yes.
So
I
she
know-
can do it. So
I know there's a picture. I have no idea where it is.
You wanna-
I know it's up there someplace.
In one of the
Oh, she's got it
16
completed.
boxes.
she does. And
She has painted this
Here.
picture the whole time we've been
Oh, my
talking.
goodness.
go with this one because that one for some reason is not working. All right. So
Yes.
here it is.
Very impressive.
That is
Yes.
All right. Amy Queen Chapin art.com for her social
Yeah.
media networks. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook. I was going to say LinkedIn for some reason, but I don't know. You might have a LinkedIn. Maybe not. Yeah, she don't ever check it. Yeah.
So I do have
Yes.
a random question. So, people consider you a legend. So how would you say that the legends, who would have been your legend when you were growing up to look up to say, I want to be like that person?
Wow.
Because you were in the beginnings of it pretty much.
Well, no, it started before I did.
Probably
Dutch.
Bill Wimble, Dutch Hope.
Yeah, Bill
Bill and
Wimble or Dutch Hogue or one of them.
So those were your idols.
Yeah, because they ran modified cars and they did really, really well. In fact, Bill Wimble, the ride for Daytona, the car I drove down there, that was the first good car I had, and that was owned by Cam Ghilardi and Gil Kramer, who I started with. And I couldn't get the hang of not lifting when you got to the end of the straightaway,
Mm-hmm.
And Bill finally told me, if one foot won't hold it down, put both of them on.
Ah,
The first time I ever went around Daytona, flat on the mat, I had both feet on the gas pedal.
Okay.
and that was the trick.
And I never had any trouble after that. I'd go out of the end of pit road flat on the floor and lift when I came in. So
Oh, how about that?
Well, now
That's
I know
wild,
what it
isn't
takes.
it? They used to do the footwork telemetry or whatever. They showed the video down there, like Ricky Rudd switching, changing gears at road courses and stuff.
oh yeah, that was heel and toeing, we called
Yes.
it.
Yeah. What did Richard tell you at the road course?
Well, you gotta. I was in Daytona. We ran the road course, and he asked me if I stayed on the track, and I says, yeah. He says, well, that's the problem. He says, you got to get off the track and do it, Well, I went back out, and I was all over the dirt and the grass, and came in and going faster than I ever went.
Oh, okay.
Richard Petty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard that before. That's good.
Yeah, I
that's
thought I was doing good at
advice,
staying
I
on
guess.
the pavement.
Right, I thought that's what you were supposed to
That's what you
do.
were supposed to do.
Yeah, same here.
Wow.
And a young rookie that won the Rookie of the Year. Didn't have a whole table at the banquet. Wanted to sit at ours.
Oh.
Well, he didn't have a table. I says, well, we got a whole table and no people. You can sit with us.
Tell him who it was.
And it was Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Oh. How about that?
He said we were all good friends, you know. It's just back when I went to work for NASCAR, then I had an office in Daytona, and Dale'd come up and he'd come in and close the door, and I'm thinking, oh, now what, you know?
Yeah.
But he'd tell me what he had on his mind because he knew I would understand and that I could get the message to the other people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, that's a cool story. You got all kinds of cool stories.
Yeah.
But I guess you didn't decide to do the mustache like he had, though, because, you know.
No, I didn't do that.
I've talked to.
He had the sideburns, remember?
He had the side.
Right.
That was his look.
Yeah, that was it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had,
Christy was in Victory Lane with Dale, Kenny Schrader, all those guys.
Yeah.
And she was Miss Goodies.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back and look for those.
She says this is haunting me. That's what I hear her saying. This just keeps haunting me.
It's just not gonna go away.
I should have never done it.
Well, there was one time in Martinsville when her and her entourage were going down through the pit area at Martinsville.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her thinking, oh no. And Dick Beatty says, don't kill her, they'll put you in jail.
Or talking about the guys that are looking at her. Don't look at my girl. Yeah.
No, one time, I just happened to think of this because they had a rabbit somewhere, but we had one at Pocono once that got on the racetrack.
Yeah.
And I was running all the safety equipment at Pocono at that time. And Dick yells over, tell them guys don't kill that rabbit. We're on live national TV.
Yeah, that'd be a PETA thing, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So you raced you raced one time, I guess, in the Daytona 500, or you were trying to get into
Trying to get in, yeah.
Into it, yeah.
And I had it made, and then the motor let go.
Oh, yeah.
So that ended that.
Mm-hmm. Huh, that wasn't a Robert Yates.
We don't talk about engines. Let them go.
Yeah.
Breaking. That's not a word in our vocabulary.
No.
No.
But that's
Something
the
else.
way it went.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Somebody
David's
said that on my
getting a
show
little
one time.
red.
I know,
He's
because
getting a little red.
I can't even think about breaking those things.
We weren't allowed to talk about it. We never
No,
had
you
it.
don't bring that up.
No. Especially not as, well, you know, when you're racing or as an engine builder or anything like
Right.
that. So we broke a guy one time.
You broke a guy?
Well,
Wow.
okay. All right. So this guy.
It's a whole other story.
Well, this guy used to come in the room and like throw, what's those chocolate things, you know, with the
Andes?
Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah. And throw Tootsie Rolls or whatever across the room and stuff. So, that was one of the guys we worked with in the room. He would throw a Tootsie Roll over the thing. So we broke him of that we had Gary Flattery, which he tunes in a lot of times. He had taken some back to he had the Oberg, the filter system back there, and he took some and beat them with a hammer and put them in the oil, the Oberg, and he brought the filter in there and showed, look, somebody had one of these in their engine.
Oh, no.
So,
Played a joke on it.
yeah. So we had him going for a little while. Don't throw stuff in the engine assembly room.
Or you just find something he's really scared of and start throwing it over to him.
Yeah. Well, no, just don't throw stuff because you can't take a chance. There's been times where somebody would, you have your engine cart, you have your stuff laid out. This is going to go in the engine. These number of washers, this number of bolts, and then you're missing a washer. This is after you had it there and now it's gone. Yeah, it's like, where did it go? Did it fly off into the engine? Just stuff like that.
That's all it would take to.
That's it. That's all it takes. And there's the end of the race. That's your end of your day. So we had a few more comments here on YouTube. And so if you are listening on the radio, y'all are just missing out. Y'all can watch it on DHammiam as well. But you're hearing some great stories by Mr. Jerry Cook, a NASCAR Hall of Famer and 6-time NASCAR Modified champion. And we did go a little bit over this evening, but we started a little bit late due to some technical difficulties. But we're not going to talk about that.
No. Don't talk about it.
What is that comment there, Bryson? You see that?
The last one.
Yes, the last one.
The question?
King
The
water.
question.
Let's see. I don't see anything about King water.
It says, Mr.
yes.
Cook.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Cook, will you be coming to Utica-Rome Speedway this summer?
We haven't planned that far ahead yet this year. Our schedule kind of changes. Quite some days it's hour to hour, but we haven't decided yet if we're going up there or not. So.
Gotcha. So it's not definitive yet.
Not yet, no.
All right. Yeah, so Dick Dennis made a comment. Did anyone hear Kevin Harvick was crying about racing in the dirt? I don't know. I didn't get to watch any of that.
Yeah, I did see that. He wrecked early.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think he was
I think
he
that
was
was
saying
before the rain.
Yeah, and he never ran dirt either, so
Yeah.
he wasn't too fond of it anyway.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I think he said it was crazy that they were even running in that mess. Is sort of. I'm not quoting him word for word.
Well,
though, so no.
a lot of asphalt drivers say dirt's for growing potatoes or something like that.
Yeah, but
Is that
I
what it
did
is?
both. I ran, we ran it all. I won on both.
Mm-hmm.
That year they had the New York State Genesee Driver of the Year Award, which paid a few $1,000 back then.
Yeah.
I ran both dirt and asphalt and won on both dirt and asphalt to win it.
You just change tires, change the setup,
You
of
ran
course.
slicks or groove slicks, you know.
Yes. Yeah, that's what you were saying earlier.
Yep.
Slicks or groove slicks. Yeah, that's
So David and I have a long gravel driveway that takes us to our road, and every day I drive down it. I give a little bit of gas in the car. I'll go just kind of sideways. I'm thinking, wouldn't this be fun to just gun it?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Not to Kevin.
And then I have to. That's why
really,
I got
on my gravel driveway. I think that would be so fun.
Yeah, that's why I was all that gravel thrown over into the grass
That's
and
not
whatever.
me. That's not me.
There's
That's not me.
grooves wore in.
We do have cameras. We do.
Now I
It's the
got
UPS
to
guy.
the dirt where I got where I could back it into the corner.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
At some places, you know, but I had another. At Fonda Speedway.
That's what Kevin told him.
I used to. I didn't back it into the corner. I drove it around the corner.
Yeah.
And one night, Pete Corey, I'm looking out, and his bumper is right there, headed for my right side, and I beat him off. I won a lot of races like that.
Sure. Wow.
But that depended on the track,
Chase
you
was
know.
running it
Yeah.
last night.
And that's the way I got it, because Bill Wimble, I beat him the same way with a set of tires I got off his car.
Oh,
And his owner couldn't believe it. He's standing there pawing the ground. He just couldn't believe it.
He wanted the tires back. Yeah. Give me them tires back. Boy, I'm going to go win next week. Kick your butt.
Is there something in your career that you would have liked to do that you never got to do?
That's hard to say. There's so much we did. I don't know if there's much we didn't do.
Drove super.
Yeah,
drove
you
on
drove-
Daytona.
Yeah.
Drove the short tracks.
I ran all the big tracks, little tracks, dirt tracks, you name it, you know.
Everything but a dragster.
And I mean, a lot of people question why we never went to run what is now the Cup, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, I mean, I had a family, I had a good sponsor, owners, and, you know, we were doing really well. To dump it all and go and start all over again
Sure.
just didn't make any sense to me.
Right. Yep.
So that's why I never did. And we were doing all right. So.
Yeah. Obviously, you did your thing.
And I'll tell you, Richie was the same way. He thought the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're doing good with what we got and doing very well with what we got.
Mhm.
We'll stay here and do this. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Well, you've done an excellent job at it, and you've had a great career. And I mean, and look at the family you raised. I mean, look at this right here. And you got grandkids.
Yeah.
And
Great
so,
grandkids.
Great
too.
grandkids, yes. So, I mean, that's a lot to be proud of, you know.
Well,
And-
if we had it all to do over again,
Yeah.
wouldn't do anything. I don't know anything else. So
Right.
there you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
it worked
That is-
out the way it should.
That is the main consensus whenever we ask people on the show, if you hadn't have been in racing, what would you have done for a real job? And most people say, I don't know.
Well,
It's because
there
that's all
was-
they know.
There was times right around the time before Holobrand, I'm thinking, I wonder how long I can do this before I got to get a real job.
Mhm.
I reached my pocket and I still had some money there.
There you
know.
go.
That's it.
And back then, that wasn't much money compared to today, but
True.
never did get that real job. My mother never thought I had a real job until I quit racing and went to work for NASCAR and got a paycheck every whatever it was, a couple weeks.
Oh.
Because you got insurance and benefits and stuff like that. That's a real job.
We had that too, but I mean, had the insurance anyway through the trucking company. So
Yeah. Well, that's the I don't know. I guess maybe a misconception or something you can call it, whatever. But whenever people, the normal is to have a 9-to-5 job or 8-to-5 or 8-to-6, whatever, and have set hours and get your paycheck and all that. But you know what? If you got other talents and things that you really want to do, you can do those too. Just like I said, there's life after NASCAR.
Well,
yeah, there is.
When I worked for NASCAR, that wasn't 9 to 5 either.
No, it wasn't.
Not for me. That was 7 days a week because
Yes.
you'd work in the office.
Yeah.
And then if you went home, the damn phone kept ringing half the night.
That's right.
And on the weekends, you went to a race somewhere every week.
And travel.
All the time.
I know I used to say I worked 8 days a week.
Yep.
Back in the day.
26 hours a day.
That should be a song. 26 hours a day. Yeah, like that. I add that to my thing now. And I always say where I got that from because I like that. Yes. All right. So if people want to, I know you got an Instagram page. Christy probably is. You're doing that. Okay.
She's in charge.
Okay.
Page.
Okay. So how do people find that?
I mean, I think does he have he has his Twitter too, right?
He has Twitter, right?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
all kind of
Instagram
interconnected.
page.
Yeah.
He has his Facebook page.
So what we need is our friends to go on there and find the Instagram and follow and check it out so you can always know what Jerry Cook's up to, right? And it's NASCAR Jerry Cook, all one word, NASCAR Jerry Cook. And Jerry Cook, number 38.
Yep.
On the Instagram. I don't know about the Twitter one, though. I guess it's the same thing, probably.
I think she runs that one.
Okay.
It's a little slow.
So
she manages all that.
Tweeting
Yes.
is slow.
Between the two of us, we manage it all.
just do a search. You'll find
more
it.
on the gram.
All right. But hey, it's been such a pleasure having y'all on the show. And maybe we'll get together again sometime. I know we'll probably see you in September for the
Hopefully.
Moonshiner
Looking
reunion.
forward to it, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go up there.
Up in Mount Airy. And we'll get to see Mr. Bill Blair and Will Cronkite, and maybe some of our other friends will come up there too.
Oh, there's all kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be the stocks for tots, and there'll be I don't know, all kinds of things.
Yeah. We'll be there again for that too. So yes, we'll see you
For sure.
for sure again, and bring your whole family and bring Debbie down. That's it.
Did you hear that, Debbie? Get out of the snow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, still snowing up there.
It's crazy, isn't it? Everybody's moving down here anyway. You might as well too.
Right.
So yeah, and maybe even Florida. Y'all spend time in Florida, right?
No.
I've been to
You don't-
Florida.
They lived in
We lived
Florida.
there 12
Live there.
years.
We lived
Yeah.
there.
That's when they left me.
Right. Oh, you don't
Remember they
want them.
abandoned her.
I guess.
Yeah.
They
Don't-
abandoned.
See, up north it was cold and blowing and snow this deep.
Oh yeah, sure.
But in Florida it's hot and humid
Yeah.
and it rains every day.
Oh,
Pretty much.
You're right. Okay. So, right here's perfect.
we come halfway back and this is pretty good here.
Yeah, it is. If
Not
you,
going anywhere.
yeah,
No, we ain't going nowhere.
Lauren
anyway.
drives
Good.
me.
good
What more
deal.
can I ask for?
You got the mountains, the
New
beach.
driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know Christy was a little miserable when y'all were gone too, so now she's happy. she's been happy ever since you've been back.
That's right.
So just keep this happiness going. It's all about her. That's
We're
good.
so lucky we have them close.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good deal. All right. Yeah. Awesome. Family's awesome. It's awesome to have when you need them, and your grandkids and great grandkids.
Yes.
So remember that, Debbie.
They'd
All right.
They'd be here tonight running this show if
Yes.
she didn't get
If she didn't
sick
get
or
sick.
they got
Oh
sick.
yeah.
No.
Yep.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having
Oh
us.
yes.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Fun
thank you.
deal.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank y'all for coming up. Every one of you. It's been great. And thank you there, Bryson.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come hang out once again.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Now, I
Great
have a
job.
question. You
Oh,
work for
okay.
Junior Motorsports?
No.
You have the shirt
No,
on.
I just
was
have the
wondering.
T-shirt.
Well, you kind of
Yeah.
look like Gregson, with the
Yeah.
hair. And,
He's just a 16-year-old
Yeah, I'm just-
whippersnapper.
Work out.
Yeah.
Right. Internship.
They might would let me sweep the shop floor or something, but I,
might.
somewhere.
Yeah.
That's right. You got to
We
start
might know
somewhere.
some people. We can make a phone call.
Yeah.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
be cool.
Might
Yeah.
know somebody.
Yep. And Amy Queen Chapin over there. Thank you for coming in
Thank you.
this evening.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Casey Cook says we love to love him. Is that your friend?
Who's that?
Casey Cook.
That's
No,
his,
I
that's
don't-
his granddaughter.
I'm sorry.
Somebody.
I don't think he's talking about me.
Granddaughter-in-law.
I'm a little behind here. Yes.
Come
well,
on,
you know,
man.
we were talking about Bryson, and I thought maybe you had a new fan, Casey Cook.
Maybe
That's
she
okay.
loves him too.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, you know. All right, so we'll do that next time, Dickie. All right. Thanks, Dickie Dennis and Paul Rodriguez. And thanks, Tracy. And
Of course.
you know what? Everybody thinks. We'll see y'all next Monday. Next Monday, I'm actually going to have a music show. It's going to be a big time. It's going to be the Wagon Load of Trouble coming up from Mooresville. Yeah, and they are Wagon Load of Trouble. They come in on a wagon. No, I don't know about that, but probably a van or something. But they're a bunch of guys and a girl, and they put on a good show. Like some honky-tonk type, like tumble. Anyway.
Well, anyway,
it's
this
gonna be
time
music.
they're going to be doing all race car related songs.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
Christy, your birthday's next week, and we're looking for something to do.
Rolling on
There
in,
you go.
Right
Yes.
into Talladega.
Just show up.
Monday
I need
evening.
to call Oliver and Claire.
Yep.
Ooh, they need to pull out the album they made way back when, like, Richie
gonna be a big time.
Powell made that album.
Back in the day.
Oh,
They
yeah.
need to pull that old
Oh yeah,
album.
I remember
Yeah.
that. That's right.
All
Yep.
the driver, Buddy Baker, everybody.
Yeah.
all sang on
I
it.
still have
Maybe
that.
maybe one of these days we can do a show like that. See, I'm thinking about. I got some ideas on this, but for next Monday it's going to be Wagon Load of Trouble, and we're going to
the
have
album.
and Rob
Try to have
McHale's
a
going to
record
come
player.
in and sing
The
his
album.
song
We have a record
1940 Ford.
Play that.
So it's going to be a good time. So y'all tune in, hit that thumbs up if you like this. If you didn't hit it twice,
Bell notification.
still gives me a thumbs up. But anyway, yeah,
Thumbs up.
That's the day.
that's right. So we'll yeah. All right, we'll see y'all next week on Racing Roots with Hamm. Good night. Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm.
If you don't know our host, David Hamm, he's a 25-year NASCAR veteran, engine builder, and jackman.
Live every Monday evening, we have a new guest.
From the racing world with their stories, their paths,
Their
racing roots.
Sponsored by Jersey Cape Yachts.
Real Country 550 and 92.9 WAME Statesville.
The spring revival is on at Merle Norman. Shop now and receive a free 4-piece spring layers gift with travel size 24-karat gold firming foundation primer, soft focus finishing powder, eyeshadow duo, and soft touch eye pencil. The Revival Color Collection and a gift with purchase is available now at Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio, 205 West Broad Street in Statesville. Your gift is free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman